Ladies and gentlemen, we have waited 2 weeks to see what happened after that massive cliffhanger of a chapter. All we had from the last chapter to end out on. This ain't gonna stop me. This ain't gonna stop me. This ain't gonna stop me. Guys, I'm too hyped for this chapter. We left out on the last one. You know what? It's probably better if you see my face. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here. As you can obviously tell, my throat is still messing with me a little bit, but it's not gonna stop me from reacting! I have been waiting for these chapters for so long. One Piece, My Hero, and Jujutsu Kaisen. All I know is that I can't wait to read these chapters. Let's start with One Piece. Last we left out on, Bonnie was about to be killed by Jay Garcia. We find out that Jay Garcia was the one who created the Sapphire Scales disease that infected Jenny and later infected Bonnie. So he's the orchestrator, literally the orchestrator of all of Kuma's pain. Kuma and Bonnie's pain. And then took advantage of the situation to, still force Kuma to become this mindless weapon. Yet, for all those efforts, Kuma still made his way to Egghead, saved Bonnie, and last we saw was Kuma preparing to punch Jay Garcia with a hockey-imbued fist. So let's see what happens in chapter 1104. Thank you, Daddy! Reader requests. Sanji delivering a dessert to a newly engaged rat couple at a restaurant by Toshika Zoo. Aw, that's so nice of Sanji. And that's so cute of the little rats there. Like, one is proposing to the other, and, it's nice. It's nice. But we have, woo! We got Kuma! He already has his fist forward right there in front of Jay Garcia. The Buccaneer boy. And it cuts back to the flashbacks of Kuma when he was a child in front of Jay Garcia all the way back during the God Valley incident. Your only options are slavery or death. And then we have Clap. Your mother's dead, son. But I think she's better off that way. And then we have Ginny as a child. I'm so happy! And then Ginny during her last moments. I'm sorry, Kumachi. I'm dying. It won't be long now. And then showing Kuma with Bonnie. Then we cut to the present. And Bonnie's crying. Why is this happening, Vegapunk? He should be dead. A few days after the Revolutionary Army took Kuma away, I pressed his self-destruct switch. Wow! But it didn't work. Wow. So the moment the Revolutionary Army took Kuma away during the reverie, Jay Garcia already hit the self-destruct switch. But it didn't work. Woo! He pressed it and it didn't work! A few days after the Revolutionary Army took Kuma away, I pressed his self-destruct switch. And Kuma's still getting closer to Jay Garcia. And then Vegapunk is surprised. Huh? So Vegapunk didn't disable it. So how is Kuma still there? If Vegapunk wasn't the one who disabled it, how is Kuma still alive after Jay Garcia tried to press the self-destruct? But then we just see Kuma, gritted teeth, bloodied face, and still that hockey-imbued fists. Woo! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! The next page we get is Kuma embedding his fist in Jay Garcia's face! just embeds his fist in Jay Garcia's face. And all we see is Jay Garcia getting launched back from this punch. Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh, this is gorgeous. Woo. And Jay Garcia just falls over. And some subordinates are going, Saint Saturn! And Saturn got bodied. He got bodied. Kuma punched him so hard, he went flying deeper into Egghead, dismantling and destroying several buildings in the process. And a lot of them start to fall on Jay Garcia. As he can't move. He's still laying down as these buildings are starting to fall on top of him. And then the Navy soldiers on the outside go, look at the town! What is this? What's happening? Did Kuma do this? And then all the vice admirals and everyone who saw Kuma punch one of the Gorosei in the face. They go, he punched out one of the 5 elders! The very highest authority in the world! And Kuma's just standing there. You ain't about to stop me, cough. Rescue Saint Saturn at once! He's trapped under the buildings! A slave just punched the man at the pinnacle of the world! This is a historical atrocity! And it just shows Kuma as he slumps to one knee. But now, everyone can move again, because whatever powers Saint Saturn was using is no longer in effect. Sanji's up, Frankie, Atlas, and Vegapunk. Finally, I can move again. Bonnie, are you hurt? And then we have Frankie. Now's our chance. Take Bonnie and let's move on up. Escape is our only goal. What happened? I did not attach any self-destruct switch. I knew that if I helped turn you into a bomb, they would inevitably use you as a suicide weapon, but I upheld their conditions in the end. I attached a total shutdown switch to you, and now that it's been thrown, you should be in a total vegetative state, without the ability to act of your own free will, or even carry out orders. As Bonnie, who's she turned back into her original child state, she just runs over to Kuma, and Kuma just embraces her. There is no reason he should have sprung into motion, and no logical scientific basis for his arrival at this island, where Bonnie is. So is it true, then? Is it not the physical strength of the Buccaneers that make them remarkable? For at one point in time, they... Stop, don't leave us hanging! Explain to us about the Buccaneer people! It is not the physical strength of the Buccaneers that make them remarkable, for at one point in time, they... And then Kizaru is up enough as he goes, well, it's over. And then Sentomaru's just going, Kuma. And then we have more Navy officials. Where's Straw Hat? He disappeared before we could apprehend him. I don't want to make that report. And then it shows Bonnie holding on to Kuma and touching his face.
Thank you, Daddy. I saw all of your memories. Mommy was such a wonderful person, and you wrote me all those letters after all. I was so happy to find out. Everyone calls you a tyrant, but I know my daddy is the kindest and most wonderful man in the entire world, and I'll never, ever forget it.
And while she's holding on to Kuma, there's a big old explosion that happens right behind Kuma and company, and it cracks the ground completely. And people are screaming, Saint Saturn! And Saturn's back up, but he's still bloodied.
Oh!
Vegapunk! How do you explain all of this? Was it your doing? And then it shows, wow, what happened to Saturn? What happened to his arm? Like, he's all bloodied. You would think he would have caused all of that to disappear because he did that when Bonnie stabbed him, but it's still on him. Well,
I suppose it must look that way. I could call it the power of love, if it makes you feel any better.
And then Saturn.
I see. Then it is a flaw in the human form, an error in the programming. Farewell. I have no more use for you men.
And it shows, wow, so Jay Garcia did get messed up. He did get messed up. His whole arm got messed up and broken and cut into pieces, and he's just straight up regenerating in front of him, just regenerating his whole arm in front of everybody. And Sanji, hey, how come his body's regenerating? And then it shows Jay Garcia aiming for Kuma.
Look out, Daddy! Move out of the way!
Don't do anything to break Bonnie's heart, Spider Gramps! And Sanji comes in and kicks away Jay Garcia's foot. And then the light starts shining off to the side of... Oh, let's go! It's a fight with the Gorosei! A member of the Gorosei. But a light starts shining right next to Saint Saturn.
We owe Kuma a great debt, too. Radical Beam!
And then it shows Kizaru getting up. And it's true. You've developed very well. Yeah, and then Frankie says beam, and then he shoots a beam straight through Jay Garcia. It just goes straight through him. But now Kizaru is right behind Frankie. And he looks back just to see Kizaru right behind him. So show me how you've grown. Frankie! And Kizaru kicks away Frankie into the distance. And then it shows Jay Garcia still silent, and his wound, his wound that Frankie gave him, starts to close up again.
Daddy's not moving, Vegapunk!
And then it shows, oh, Atlas is carrying Kuma.
Can you carry him to the Labo phase, Atlas?
Yeah, I got this!
Now that even Kuma's in the scene, I'd say we've got an abundance of players, wouldn't you? Let's finally end this.
Have you no heart? You're a sad man, Kizaru.
Yes, I'm a miserable sight. I should have brought darker shades. Wow, he has no chill whatsoever. He has no chill whatsoever. And then we're on the outside of Egghead. The Buster Call has been activated. This island has been declared a threat to the world government. Good God. All warships prepare for bombardment. Burn it to the ground in the name of justice.
Those who study the secrets of the world, those who possess the blood of a lost people, those who have awakened an ancient god. This island is full of inconvenient people who must be eradicated.
And this is Jay Garcia saying this, and that's when the chapter ends. Woo! Those who study the secrets of the world, the Void Century, those who possess the blood of a lost people, the Buccaneer people, Kuma, and those who have awakened an ancient god, Luffy, with Nika. Full of inconvenient people who must be eradicated. Wow. Makes you really wonder just how much of a wrench in the plans all three of these different things would throw. How much of a wrench it would throw into the plans of the world government if all three of these people remained active. All three of these things remained active. Wow. Wow. Whoo. Okay. All right. Let me acknowledge everyone. Ozzy. Good to see you, Halster. Everybody. Wow, this was a 10 out of 10 chapter. I don't know what else to say. Hold on. Let me see. Let me pull up. Let me get the notes. All right, there we go. Okay, so we got the references. So, as Kuma prepares to punch Saint Saturn, Saturn demands to Vegapunk why Kuma's self-destruct mechanism doesn't work. According to Saturn, he had already activated the self-destruct when Kuma had been broken out of Marijois. Kuma's punch connects with Saturn, sending him flying across Egghead and tearing off his right arm and horn. So it wasn't just his arm, it was his horn too. Hold on, let me go back. Yeah, his horn's gone. Oh, but it regenerates. Yeah, he regenerates his horn. He regenerates his horn afterwards. Yeah. Okay, so, wow. Let's see. Vegapunk admits that Kuma's self-destruct was not a bomb for fear of it being weaponized, but should still have deactivated him. So Vegapunk didn't actually put a self-destruct feature in Kuma, but put an immediate shutdown feature in him. Vegapunk believes that Kuma's Buccaneer nature may have been involved in it. What is it about the Buccaneer people that allowed Kuma to continue on even after the fact? This man doesn't have any memories. When Bonnie put her hand and experienced Kuma's memories, those memories are gone. And Kuma pretty much had his whole mind and free will erased. But what is it about the Buccaneer people that allowed his free will to still, albeit partially, remain to where he still goes up against Jay Garcia? Because, and I said this before in the last chapter before we went on that 2-week break, in order for him to be using Haki, he's got to have a strong will. And you would think that with someone who had their free will removed, that would sort of erase their ability to use Haki. Because Haki is basically a person's willpower, brought into physical form, into a tangible state. Like armament, physically being able to use your willpower to cover yourself in armor or enhance your attacks. With observation, being able to sense everything around you and even, look into the future. And then, of course, we got conquerors. But it's all based on will. So how is it that Kuma, a person who had his will overwritten and erased, how is he still able to use Haki as a soulless and mindless and will-less machine? How? It's got to be something with that. Like Vegapunk said, it's got to be something about them Buccaneers. It's something about them Buccaneers where their will must be strong. Like so strong that even if you wipe their will from their minds, they can still continue on. Skip, good to see you. Overall, a 10 out of 10 check. Yeah, it was. It was. It went down as exactly as I thought. Seeing Kuma punch Saint Saturn in the face. We have not seen a celestial dragon because the Gorosei are still technically celestial dragons. They just sit at the top of every single one of them. But we've never seen a celestial dragon be injured in this way, just like straight up punched in the face, since Luffy and then Leo and Sai versus Charlos. Charlos be having a hard time. He got beat up by Luffy, and then he got beat up by Sai and Leo. And now we have one of the people that sit at the top of the world, aside from Im-sama. He just got straight up punched in the face in front of everyone. It's a historical atrocity! This was a great chapter. Gee, Saturn, bet your scientific experience didn't see that coming. Nope. Kuma's will reminds you of Terminator 2 and RoboCop. Like, in Terminator 2, I think it was when he got shut down and then he... Do I think Blackbeard is Buccaneer? I don't know. I wouldn't hold any validity to that. I don't know. Because the one thing that sticks out to... Because the thing about Buccaneer people is that they are known for their great stature. Now, sure, Blackbeard is a big individual, but he's not of, like, the Buccaneer size, though. Because even when Kuma... Because I honestly feel like the Buccaneer people tend to be, like, really, really, really big guys. Really big guys. Not Blackbeard's height, but bigger than him. Close to giants. That's the thing about Buccaneers. They tend to be close to giants. Is it taboo for me to give credit to Charlos to somehow being still alive from those encounters? I wouldn't say it's taboo, but no one would be hard-pressed if he didn't survive. Luffy is about to do something ridiculous. He's about to stop the Buster Call single-handedly. Well, at least I hope he does. You know what's beautiful? You know what's beautiful? Hello there, you cried in this chapter. Julian! Julian! Yo, this chapter was amazing! This chapter was amazing! And we still need to see that giant robot. Kuma is about Whitebeard's height. Yeah, just about. The thing about Buccaneer people is they tend to have, they're said to have the blood of giants in them. Like if I pull up the Buccaneers themselves. Yeah, nearly extinct special race of humanoids taller than average humans but smaller than giants. Yeah, carry the blood of the giants, suggesting they may be a mixed race. It's currently unclear whether a child between a Buccaneer and a human is considered half Buccaneer or not, as Bartholomew Kuma is only ever referred to as a Buccaneer despite having a human mother. So it's really just the whole big giant aspect. Vegapunk implies that there's something other than physical strength that makes Buccaneers special, which is seemingly related to the reason Kuma was able to act after his total shutdown switch was pressed. So I'm guessing Blackbeard is taller than you thought. Yeah, Blackbeard is kind of tall. He's kind of tall. Hold on. Marshor di teach. He is 11 feet tall. Mind you, Kuma is like 22. But yeah, Blackbeard is a big dude. He's a big dude, but I wouldn't say that he's a Buccaneer, though. I wouldn't say that. There's still too many variables. This chapter was fire, and the next chapter will be a raging inferno. He's not the height of Kuma or anything, but he's taller than you realize. He's a little taller than Akainu, but shorter than Smoothie. This was a good chapter. Let me see. You hit me in my face. I'm going to enact a Buster Call. Yeah, and who said that? Ravi. Third Buster Call, third time. Robin is in it. What bad luck. Yeah, because she's been a grand total of 3 Buster Calls she's been in. The first one that went to wipe out all of Ohara. The second one at Eni's lobby because of fandom being stupid. And now, one that's about to happen here on Egghead. So she's experienced she's about to experience 3 whole Buster Calls in her entire life. That's pretty big. But overall, let me continue reading the notes here. Bonnie reunites with Kuma in her child form as everyone previously incapacitated by Saturn can move again. Some of the Marines note that Luffy has disappeared. Luffy gone. Luffy's gone. Where did Luffy go? Where did Luffy go? Saturn regenerates his injuries and prepares to kill Kuma and Bonnie, but Sanji stops him. Frankie pierces Saturn with his radical beam, but is in turn attacked by Kizaru. Vegapunk orders Atlas to carry the immobile Kuma to safety as Saturn orders a Buster Call on Egghead. Okay, so the mother of all Buster Calls is about to take place. Like the hundreds of warships, that's about to fall onto Egghead right now. So everybody got to go now. And to think that after a chapter like this, we haven't seen Robin in the present since 1090 and before that 1078. It's been a while. There is something wrong with Blackbeard, like he doesn't sleep having 2 devil fruits. Well, the whole doesn't sleep thing comes from Buggy. So who knows? Like that's what Buggy says. But yeah, there's something. My thing is, I don't think there's something wrong with Blackbeard. I just think that he's figured out a way to be the first user of 2 devil fruits, because Blackbeard is smart. He can be incredibly arrogant, but he's also very smart. So I honestly feel, yeah, there's something going on with Blackbeard. I wouldn't say there's something wrong, but I would say there's something definitely going on with him. I hope the anime adapts Kuma's punch like they did with Luffy punching Charlos, all white and all. Yeah, just straight, just black and white, and you just see Kuma punching him directly in the face. Why can't you Americans be like all the normal people and use the metric system? Yeah. I'm not even gonna. I don't have a response. I'm not even gonna respond to that. You know better. But overall, this nothing special. Teach is just an insomniac. Yeah. There's just something about Teach. Marco did say his body was weird, but even so, I don't think he's a Buccaneer. I don't think he's a Buccaneer either. I honestly don't think that. Because honestly, if he was a Buccaneer, wouldn't it have slipped at some point where he knows about Nika? And if that was the case, if he knew about Nika and as much knowledge as he dives into for devil fruits, wouldn't he have tried to find where that Hito no Mi model Nika fruit was? I'm just making these wild assumptions here. But I can't say that I think Blackbeard would be a Buccaneer. I don't see it. Overall, I will say this, though. Such a touching moment for Bonnie. This is the first time that she sees Kuma in so long. And Kuma, while he's still facially stoic, he does not hesitate in embracing her and holding her and hugging her. So even though his face doesn't show the emotion, he's embracing her as if he still had his free will. Which is something that's still amazing to me. Yeah, that's something that's still amazing to me. That he still has some semblance of his free will that's allowing him to act. I know Blackbeard's a history buff, so at the very least he might know about them like he did Lunarians. Yeah, because he recognized the black wings, the dark skin, and the white hair on the Seraphim when he first saw them. So he's knowledgeable. He knows some stuff. But my apologies, everybody. These coughs are incredibly annoying. I got 2 more reactions to do, and then when I'm done with that, I'm just gonna relax the rest of the day. Stay warm, drink me some tea. Blackbeard feels like a D&D character to you. He has magnificent rolls on what do you call it? On I wouldn't say charisma checks, but agility checks on avoiding damage that could right out kill him. He rolls natural 20s on avoiding pretty fatal, absolutely fatal damage. He rolls natural 20s on avoiding death. So yeah, he feels like a D&D character that just barely manages to survive against all odds. But this was a good chapter. We got this is now the greatest punch in One Piece. This is better than Luffy punching Charlos. This is better than Saiyan Leo beating up Charlos. This is better than Whitebeard smashing the side of Akainu. This is better than Luffy accessing Conqueror's mission and punching Kaido directly in the face for the first time. This surpasses Luffy punching Bellamy. This surpasses every punch we've seen in One Piece. Saint Saturn, a member of the Gorosei, the 5 elders themselves, one of them getting punched in the face and bodied so hard that Kuma straight up destroyed his arm and his horn. And he just started regenerating his arm again. So I'm like, okay, what type of devil fruit do you have where you can just regenerate your limbs instantly like that? What power do you have? That's ridiculous. Proficient in stealth of avoiding Shanks. Wisdom, proficient in history. Can't wait to see his fight against Law in 2 weeks. Look, the fight against Blackbeard and Law in the anime, that's going to be interesting. The only thing that will make the situation even better, the Revolutionary Army showing up at Egghead, including Dragon. We'll have to see. You never know how things are about to turn out. Most well-deserved punch in the series so far. Yes, fully deserved. after Jay Garcia spilled the beans on how he was the one who did all the sapphire scales, all this experimentation, all of this messed up stuff that really brought down Kuma's life. Like, it's because of Saturn that we lost Ginny. It's because of Saturn that Bonnie got the sapphire scales. And then Kuma had to put himself in service of the world government. Make himself a machine over time. Could never see Bonnie again. This punch was 100% deserved. He brought it on himself.
I'm just gonna make this man's life miserable to the most highest degree. It's not like he's ever gonna come back and do anything about it.
Ain't it funny? The first time that Kuma sees Jay Garcia in all these years, and he does the exact same thing that Jay Garcia did to them during their first encounter. Now, let me take you back. Remember when Kuma ran into Jay Garcia the very first time during the God Valley incident? Jay Garcia doesn't waste time just punching him directly in the face? Now those tables have turned because Kuma does the exact same thing. Doesn't see Jay Garcia in years, and the very first thing Kuma does is punch Jay Garcia directly in the face. Remember that? Yeah. What goes around, come around. What goes around, comes around, Saturn. Yes. Dragon did ask Eva if he knew where Kuma would be heading after all. Who knows what other horrible things Saturn did in his life as a celestial dragon? We don't know. I mean, he's the godhead of science and research. So, there's no telling what depraved things Saturn has done that we don't even know about. Overall, this was a phenomenal chapter. Oh my goodness. This is only the second chapter of One Piece in this year. This is only the second chapter of One Piece. The second chapter of One Piece this year. And it's already fire. Although Gorosei also might have some big doing behind the scene. I mean, that's fairly obvious, but we're kind of focusing on just Jay Garcia right now. The second punch heard around the manga anime world, Karma is undefeated. Yeah, it is. So yeah, Skip. It's kind of obvious that they could be doing some things behind the scenes, but we won't know that until we get back to the Gorosei, to the rest of them. That is no break, right? Yeah, no break. There is no break. We are going right into the next chapter next week. Next new chapter comes in 7 days. Yeah, we're getting a new one next week. Wow. Man, Oda wasn't kidding when he said he was finalizing everything for One Piece when he took that 2-month-long break. And now we're getting everything. It's just, this is peak storytelling. This is so good. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me not keep you here any longer than I already have. I need to, gargle just a little bit, clear up my throat, because I still got to do My Hero, and I still got to do Jujutsu Kaisen. Then, when I'm done, I'm resting. I'm just going to take me a nice long nap and just sleep as much as I can while also getting my orange juice in. But overall, I enjoyed reading this. We eating? Oh, I gotta check in with family, see if they're bringing food too. Only ask because you think the other two may be on break? Oh, okay. But yeah. I gotta prepare for My Hero and my love for One Piece. Oh yeah, Skip, I love it. I love One Piece. But it's really what helped my channel take off in like my early years. And like when I was reading it early, I had like tons and tons of views. But I guess, when you start reading things officially and you push days back, especially when you don't read early scans and stuff, it kind of has an effect. But overall, I've enjoyed my time with reading One Piece, and I just love this entire series. But that's all I got. I'm gonna see if I can gargle a little bit and then prepare for My Hero. This was a 10 out of 10 chapter. I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what happens next week for One Piece. But all I can say to you right now is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, subscribe, become a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, that cough tried to come out there a little bit. Later, peoples. Also, look at this lovely art. This lovely art by Ravi. It looks so good, don't you agree?